As you can probably tell by the state of what I'm wearing, I've been very hard at work on this little 172, and I'm a lot further in on the progress of this car than the videos would actually make it look like. One of the things I've always struggled about is motivation, to be honest, and the thing that I've always found works best to curb this problem is by fixing something physically big, something I can see. So I might as well do the brakes, I might as well do the suspension, but once the wheels are back on, I'm never going to really see it, and it's going to make me think, that was kind of for nothing. So if we have a look at the outside of this car, it looks dirty, ridiculously dirty. Now, with it being set outside, that cleaning that we did was all for nothing pretty much, but at least we got to see it look decent for a little bit of time. If you look on the outside of this car, the bodywork looks okay, it looks presentable, it's not too bad. But if you look on the interior, yeah, you'd think the same. However, look up. I wouldn't exactly call a bunch of staples in the ceiling nice. I mean, it's better than sagging, but it's still not brilliant, is it? So, I've got this, I'm going to pull all these out, and I just want to see how bad it actually is. And that was anticlimactic. 26 staples, including the 3 still stuck in the roof. And it makes a huge difference. Now, obviously, it was good if someone was just going to drive this car. It's not going to be good for what I'm intending to do with it. Now, if I look on eBay, it's about 120 to 130 quid for a regular Clio headliner, or a 17 or a 182. So I'm not really willing to pay that. So what am I going to do? This is what I'm doing. So this is a headliner out of a Renault 182 Cup. Now, I went to buy a seat and an airbox for this car, and the bloke said, just have the headliner. He's stripping it to make a track car out of it anyway, so he just donated this to the project. Thank you for that, Grant. You're brilliant. Some of these fixings come out really easily. Some of them are very destructive. Ah, fuck. That broke it. What am I going to do about that? I'm just going to destroy the headliner. I think you would too. It's the most fun, and honestly, this headliner is not going to be used again. It's completely f***ed. There's 52 holes in the roof, so what am I going to do with it? Anyway. Hi. So all we've learned from that is that I'm a child and I like destroying. Right, next thing. Come on. Oh God, fuck. Come on. Oh, that's not gone well. It's a really good thing I got some more with a headliner, isn't it? So I mentioned getting a seat and kind of went nowhere with that. The reason for that is because the driver's seat is completely torn and worn out quite badly. Now, 17 and 182s do tend to suffer with this, as the materials just aren't that great, even though it's leather and Alcantara. They don't really tend to wear very well on these cars. But from Grant, I got a driver's seat for this car. The problem is it's out of a 182, so it is very slightly different with a little white pattern in the dots rather than black. I shouldn't have said that, otherwise you probably might not have noticed that. Shit. I tasked Toby with removing the seat, as he's had experience taking these connectors out before.
This connector, the red bit...
Don't tell me it's been spliced.
Someone's had a go at it already.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I see what you mean. With it looked like it was damaged from someone in the past, I made an executive decision. Do you want my honest answer?
What?
Should we break it?
That's probably the best idea.
Honestly.
But you just need to be careful on the lower half.
Yeah. Should we just break the top half, because this seat's not going back in the car?
No. 3, 2, 1.
It's nowhere near as heavy as the Porsche seat.
You'd have been lucky.
Huh?
I don't think you would.
Yes, he would. Because it goes underneath it.
Apart from there,
If anyone's following along whilst they're doing this to their Clio, I'll give you a piece of advice. They have two little plastic clips on the handle, and they are going to be pushed out to either side once you've taken it out. What I would recommend doing is grabbing a pair of pliers, flattening them out, and then slotting them in the holes. And once they're in, you let go and just push it all the way in. Quite simple, but really a stupid design from Renault. Although it's French, why don't I expect anything more?
well, exactly.
The interior of this car is just so much better. Even with what we did in the last video, just simply tearing off the old carbon fiber effect wrap, and now doing this, it is a much nicer place to be. I sound like a car reviewer from the 90s, don't I? The headliner actually has its little divots. It wasn't too bad before, but the metal in the roof, the staples in the roof, really did give it that look where it was like on its last legs. The ripped seat has been replaced with this one from the 182, obviously, and even though it has the white diamond pattern, I'm not too fussed. The white diamond pattern isn't that noticeable unless you're really looking for it, he says, lying. But in all seriousness though, this interior is drastically better than it was when I bought the car. Needs a bit of a clean, but other than that, it's all good. So what's next on the list for this little 172? We're actually going to be fixing some MOT failures. So, 40mm lowering springs, anyone? Stay tuned. Take care.